Check 1 2. Check check check. Yo, I think this is right. I think this is right. Drop that down a little bit, and now we're chilling. What's up, Mr. Dean? Yo, what's up? Hi, Dean. Hello, everybody. All right. Yo, we're chilling, man. All right, everyone, get in here. Let's see who's here. All right, so hey, can hear you now. Okay, cool. So welcome. Some of you are probably like, "Oh my god, what is this?" Little can't can't hardly hear you. Can't hardly hear you. Oh, here, hold on. This is good. This is good. I'm trying to figure out the kinks with all this. All right, let's see. Let's see what's going on over here. It's the gain. All right, here. I'm going to crank this bad boy up. Let's see. Oh shit. Let's see what that does. I'm in my beanbag. All right, let's check. I'm going to check the broadcast. Hello from Wisconsin. Oh my god, this is like almost real. Shit. Let's see what that does. I'm in my beanbag. Oh, this look. Let's check. Check. I think this sounds good. Wisconsin. Oh my god, this is like almost real. This sounds right. All right, cool. All right, welcome. Some of you are probably wondering what this is. I'm starting a podcast, or at least something. I don't know what it will be, but yeah, I wanna just be able. I'm trying to write more stand up, and so I thought it would be good. I thought it would be good for me to just kind of sit and just kind of talk for like at least 30 minutes, just on like, I don't know, topics, just on anything. I think what I want to do is like take a topic and then just talk about it for 30 minutes. Just kind of see what angles come out of, what kind of fun jargon comes out of, just talking about something for 30 minutes. I had this idea initially of doing of just like talking about bananas for half an hour. Like we'll just talk about bananas, and then eventually, I don't know, maybe I could add that to my stand-up set. Maybe there's something there that I can add into my stand-up set. So today I don't know what to talk about. The point of the show would be just like how far I just want to think, like take stuff and just think about it. I've been doing this bit in my stand-up where I just talk about milk for like 5 minutes, because I think it's interesting. Like there's so many things about milk that I didn't know that now I know now, and I think there's some things about milk that I find so interesting. For example, did you know that whole milk? You know how there's like 1%, 2%? Apparently, whole milk is just 3%. I thought that was insane, right? So I don't know. I just little things like that. I'm like, all right, this is called Big Head. It's where Dean discovers stuff. That's really what this is. And hopefully you discover something too while we're sitting here and chatting. But yeah, today, I don't know. Screw it. Why don't we let's talk about bananas. I think that would be fun. We're just riffing on like a topic. I don't know. Bananas seems dumb. Maybe what if I like picked a random word, like did like a random word generator, and then we just pick a random word and then we just talk about that word for a little while. Hold on, let me see. Can I put this in here? Is this gonna work? So this is the first episode. Oh, reading. Oh, that's a good topic. Reading could be good. Hold on, I'm trying to. But yeah, this is the first episode. So I'm trying to get all the kinks, out of this. And I got my protein shake. Ooh. We could talk about protein shakes. That's what I think we'll do. While I'm drinking my protein shake, we can talk about protein. Now, listen. I'm not the most I'm not a fitness guru. I'm not like getting on a pool for a football game. Yes, Barbara. Yes, like getting on a pool for a football game. Um, if you don't know what we're talking about, my mom made a joke one time about a football pool, and I didn't know what a football pool was. I thought she meant that it was a pool that people get into during a football game, and then they swim and watch the football game, which honestly sounds pretty cool, right? Wouldn't I would love to like be swimming in a pool and then have a big like flat screen and you can watch the football game while you're swimming. Like that sounds pretty cool. But no, she meant like a football gambling pool. And I was dumb. Now I look dumb. So this is my attempt to not look dumb. I'm just gonna kind of sit for half an hour and then just discover things. Learn. I want to learn. I want to learn about the world and learn about stuff. So here I'll set a timer. Set a timer for, let's see, like 30 minutes. And we'll just riff on some stuff. All right. Hello everybody. Welcome. All right, here we go. Timer start. Not in Wisconsin. Football pool. That sounds better than the actual pool, right? That sounds cool. All right. You know what? Let's talk about football. Let's talk about football pools. Let's do it. You know what? Screw it. Well, we've already jumped on. Thank you, Barbara. You've sparked this conversation. All right, so let's talk about football pool. So a football pool, what a real football pool is that I learned is it's like gambling. I don't know. Do you guys, you know how people do like fantasy football? Like I don't understand. It's funny to me too, cause like the same people that make fun of me for like, they're like, oh, like you know too many Pokemon, or like, they're like, oh, like why do you spend so much time learning these stupid things like you spend so much time learning about Lord of the Rings or like Star Wars, you know too much about Star Wars, but then they can name like the quarterback of like the Eagles from like the 70s. I'm like, that's so weird. That's weird to me. I thought it was just a pool size of a football field. That honestly, that could be it too. A football pool is just like a pool the size of a football field. And then honestly, see, I have so many questions that I want to look up. Are you gay? Your name, or there's a lot going on in that sentence, Barbara. There's a lot to debunk in that sentence. Hold on. Let me see if I need to get my chat like squared away here. Okay. Are you gay, your name, or a fool, and you get your debridge and hope they win? Barbara, I think you're drunk. 'Cause I really don't. I'm trying to make you. The only thing I understood in that question was, are you gay? Which I'm gonna be honest, I don't know yet. I think I'm still figuring that out. Anyway, football pool. I've been seeing this guy on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff, where he goes and last comment was not for me. Okay. I've been seeing this guy on like Instagram where he goes around to like and interviews people on the street, and then he asks them, he's like, who are the five, you know, the five quarterbacks that lead in yards passing from now since when football started. And then these people at like tailgates, they know it. They just know. They're like, Tom Suttleman. I'm like, who's Tom Suttleman? Like, it's crazy to me that they just know this stuff. And sometimes it's like little kids too. Like there are these kids that know the roster of the Philadelphia Phillies from like the 90s. And I'm like, that's insane. I don't know. I just don't get that. But then it's weird if I know all the characters from Star Wars. Like, oh my gosh. God forbid I know Emperor Palpatine. Senator Palpatine. That's true. Actually, it's Senator Palpatine. Most people are like nerd. Like you're a nerd too, just in a different way. You're a nerd, but just for different things. Like some people are really, you know what's crazy? Can we can we talk about cute dogs and share pictures? Uh maybe, Lisa. Maybe. Um if you want to, I don't know how we could share pictures. If you want to send me a picture on Instagram, we can look at your dog. We could, that sure, that's a thing we can do. Yeah, Lisa. Okay. I feel like you guys are creating your own little show. Sure. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. Sure. You can send me your pictures of your dog and we'll look at them. Um but yeah, football pool. Football's hard. Football, the Eagles are doing well now, which is cool. Um are you guys big sport people? You guys follow sports a lot? I don't really follow sports a lot, but I think nerds are the best. That's true. Nerds are the best. Um, I feel like just ever since I got out of college, I've been following sports a lot more, which is weird. Um, mm, you're right. I know football, but never seen Star Wars. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's a little nerdy about something. Whether it's football, whether it's about Star Wars, everyone's got everyone's got a little something. Broncos, Avalanche, Colorado. What a what is Avalanche? Broncos, Avalanche, Colorado. I think I know Broncos is one of the teams. Avalanche, Colorado. Hello, hello. Sarcastic. That's a cool name. Or sarcastic. Okay, sorry. Um yeah, we're talking about football. I never played football. I don't know if you can see by my body type. I don't think I'll ever be a football player. um Avalanche is hockey. Okay. Yeah, then there's hockey. Like, do you guys know people that follow hockey? Cuz I really I feel like used to be a fan of I used to be a football nerd, but lost some of that knowledge over the years. Yeah. I feel like with football you always got to stay up to date. And you know what's weird to me? Okay. Especially for the Eagles, it's weird to me that like you root for a team like the Eagles, but most of the people on the team like haven't grown up in this area, like in Philly. Like they're just from different parts of the country, but we root for them. And then at some point they get traded to a different team, and then a new guy comes in, and then we root for that guy. And all of a sudden that guy gets traded and he's on the opposite team. Like he might be go to the Cowboys. So then we hate him. Like I don't know, just like that part of sports I never get. Like I wish the teams like I wish like when we have Philadelphia football, like the Eagles, I I wish all the dudes had to come from Philadelphia. But maybe that wouldn't be fair cuz maybe New York has like a crazy football team and in Philly's like we're not really into it. I don't know. But I just always thought that was weird. That like we root for these guys, these random dudes. We're like, yeah, Jalen Hurts. I don't know. I don't even know if Jalen Hurts. He's the quarterback of the Eagles right now. I'm not even sure if he grew up in this area. But yeah, so he's just some dude that like the Eagles recruited, and we were like, all right, cool. We like this guy now. But you know, let's say in a year or two, Jalen Hurts gets traded to a different team. then I guess we'll hate him. I don't know. Uh, LOL, very true. Then if you mix in what college they played for before turning pro, adds to the live hate thing. Yeah, yeah. And the other thing too is like I mean I was never really into college football. Like I enjoy going to games, but it's more for like the experience of the crowd, like right, everyone's going crazy. Like that part I think is cool, and like then you can like hang out with drunk people. That's always fun. But I don't know. There's always this side of like, um, I don't know. People get so invested. Like unless you're playing, like I think the thing that's weird to me is like, and people say this all the time. Like when kids watch people playing video games, right? I always as a kid, you would hear people say, "Why would you watch someone else play video games when you can just play video games?" And the response from my generation has always been, why do you watch someone else play football when you could just play football? And it is kind of weird to think, right? Because like most guys who watch baseball or football or any of the sports, especially I'm talking strictly about dudes because I've seen this from like dads. Dads will get so upset about like the Phillies. Like they get so upset. But I'm like, what? How does this impact your life? Like I like I genuinely I just don't get that, Like I watch I watch some video games, right? And there are teams that I'm really big into like esports. Esports is like competitive video game playing. And like there's some teams where I'm like, all right, I'll root for them. Like I'm not a crazy fan or anything, but like all right, I'll try to root for them. And then they lose, and I'm like, all right, well, back to sleep, going to sleep. But some guys, they get so invested, and I've been to Phillies games where like dads will just stand up and scream at the top of their lungs, and I'm like, I just don't understand how this affects you in any way, right? Like that guy isn't even the people on the field aren't even from the city. You don't know them personally. You just kind of like them because they're dudes. I don't know. That part of sports I never really got. Man, and I always hear like you want to watch people who, you want to watch people who are better than you, right? That's always like the sports thing. Like that's why sports are great, right? You want to see a professional do it. Like, why would I watch some random dad do it when I could watch a professional baseball player, play baseball? Like, he's going to be 10 times better at it, than I am or any other dad. But I don't know. It's I guess it's still weird to me. This has turned more into like sports than football, really. But this is good. I like this. Then there's all different kinds of sports. Like I always think it's interesting, like most of the time in order to like be successful in like football or baseball, you have to go through college, and then you have to like do well on the college team before you get onto like a proper team, an NFL team. But then with like tennis, I'm not sure how tennis works. Like, do you have to, I assume you have to like work your way up, right? Like anybody could just practice tennis or ping pong. Ping pong's another one. You don't have to go to school for ping pong. You don't have to be on the varsity team for ping pong at Rutgers University. You can just pick up ping pong one day and go to a coach and then start doing tournaments, and then you're in the ping pong league. But with football, it's different. Football is like you got to go to college and you got to play in high school and get scouted, and then it's a whole huge thing. And there's so much money in football. I never realized how much money is in football. It's crazy. My family grew up Cleveland Browns fans. My brother's kids are huge fans now, and they've never lived in Cleveland. Braves fans, but live in Michigan. That's what I'm saying. Like, how does that happen? So it's just weird. Like, people get attached. Like, I know there's like a popular guy on the internet who is, I think he's from like Texas, but he's like a big Eagles fan. It's like, how did that? Never lived in Philly. Never, I don't think has any relatives in Philly. Just an Eagles fan, and it's like, that's so interesting. Like, how does that happen? I don't know. But it's like, why are you? I think you know what it is. I think sometimes people are just fans of like the logo and the design, right? Like the shirts, and less about the actual team, which I can respect. Some of those shirts are pretty cool. Some of like the jerseys are pretty sick. But you don't necessarily need, like, you can, if you're just doing it for the shirts, you don't need to say, "Oh, I'm a fan of the Dolphins." But you can still wear a Dolphins shirt. Like, it looks cool, right? But then it's like, that's kind of like wearing, you ever see those like stolen valor things where like if you're like wearing a military uniform but you never served in the military, these veterans will like call you out and be like, "Yo, that's stolen valor. Like, you don't deserve to wear that. You didn't fight." That kind of feels like the same thing. Like, if you're wearing a Dolphins jersey, but you're just wearing it for the design. But I don't know. I think it's just clothes. It's just clothes. I'm a violinist, and I don't have any fans. No one is wearing my jersey. Well, I would wear your jersey. I would wear your jersey. That's the other thing, too, is like, only sports has, like, jerseys and stuff. Like, imagine if orchestras had jerseys. That would be sick. I think, you know what I think it is? I think it has to do with comfort, right? That's a big part of it. Like I've been to like orchestra concerts, and they're all dressed up in dresses and tuxedo, or not tuxedo, but like suits and ties. I don't know. I feel like it would be hard to like rep like oh, yo, it's Beethoven's jersey, and it's just like a suit. It's like a suit that you have to wear, and it's like, yo, that's Beethoven's jersey. That's he performs in that. But that wouldn't be comfortable, Maybe for like a wedding. I don't even know. Maybe it says maybe it's like a suit and a jacket, and then on the back it says Beethoven. I don't know. I don't know how you would make that a thing, but that would be cool if like orchestras, because in orchestras, what's also cool is they have like chairs. Like, they have first chair, second chair. Orchestras should have jerseys. Yeah, I think you have to you got to figure out how it would work though. You want to give it like a unique look too, cuz like baseball jerseys have that unique like button-up look, but football jerseys have like a specific look too. You'd have to give it like a specific look just so you could look at it and be like, "Oh, that's a football jersey, that's a baseball jersey, and that's an orchestra jersey." Maybe it's just like a cummerbund. Quick note, my dog's leg is sleeping on my arm. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. I was wondering what I was gonna be honest, I was wondering what your dog was up to. Specifically your dog's leg. I was so worried about what your dog's leg was up to. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's thank you for the update. That's good. But yeah, no, I think it would be cool to have like jerseys for orchestras, but I feel like you would have to figure it out. But no, so then orchestras sometimes they have chairs. So like when Jacqueline and Brooke did orchestra, they had like my sisters, they had like first chair, second chair, third chair, right? And that was like how good each section had a chair. So like the violin section had a first chair, and the cello section had a first chair. And it was always like who the best kid was. Like you never think about like how competitive orchestra is. It's competitive. Everybody wants that first chair. Because if you're second chair, that means you're the second best out of the violins, right? And if you're the last chair, you're on your way out. you're close to the end. That's scary. You gotta keep proving yourself to get up into the first, the better chairs. It's pretty cutthroat. I didn't realize. So I used to do choir in high school, and there was like an all South Jersey choir, and what they would do is and it's crazy. Like you think choir, what choir can't be that competitive? It was. So you audition for like a part, right? Like bass or a tenor or an alto, soprano. You audition for a voice part, and I auditioned for a bass. I was gonna be a bass, right? My voice is really low, and I auditioned, and they were only accepting 10 kids. So you would either get like first chair, like you would be first chair bass, or you'd be like second chair bass, third chair bass. Um, so I did the audition, and there's like 100 kids auditioning per part. I went on the audition, and I ended up, I think I got seventh chair bass, right? So I was like, all right, cool, that's pretty sick. I'm I'm number seven, out of the 10 that they were accepting. So it was like it's pretty cool, but you get numbered, which is so scary. Like you wanna make, because then the guy at number one's gonna get a big head about it. He's got a big ego. Like, yeah, I'm base number one. It's pretty crazy. So that's like football and your first string quarterback and then the backups. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. The first chair violin is kind of like the quarterback. Everyone else is other other positions that don't really matter. No, no, no. The other ones are important. But the quarterback, that's your first chair. Second chair is probably like your running back, third chair's fourth chair is your wide receiver. Yeah, it's kind of like football in that way. Um, but yeah, yeah, I always thought that was fun. That is, you never realize how competitive certain things are. Like orchestra. Like you would never think about that. And or choir. They're pretty competitive. Um, but it's not like nobody brags about that. You know, like you could people go around and they're like, oh, I'm the quarterback. Like there's a guy going around like, oh, I'm the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Like he's cool, right? I've never heard anybody go around and be like, yeah, I'm actually I'm base one in the Philadelphia Orchestra. Like you never hear anybody bragging about that. I'm the first. I'm a chair one violin player for the Philadelphia Orchestra, right? And you never like they don't. They're not like they're not like there's no draft, for orchestra. They're like in the first round pick of the NFL draft, we choose Brooke Blizzard, Rowan University, first chair violin. Like that's not a thing. It should be. That would be so sick. A draft, but for orchestra. Um, but yeah, no, it's funny how like certain things are really competitive, and then there's orchestra and choir. Um, but yeah, it is fun. It's funny. Like I played baseball when I was in high school, my freshman year, and I was not very good. Well, I was all right at baseball, but when I got to high school, I was competing against kids that were like playing all year round. Like they'd play during baseball season, and then when baseball season ended, they would go to like training camps. And I was only playing baseball during baseball season. I don't know. I hadn't. I was like, all right, like I enjoy this sport, but not enough to play it all year round. Um, Orchestra draft coming to ESPN 12. That's right. Yeah. Okay, that's the other thing too. There's like a million ESPN channels. That's great. Like, and which I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like obviously they want to, right there, if there's like multiple games happening on certain things, they want to make sure they're broadcasting everyone. But then there's ESPN, then there's ESPN2, ESPN3, ESPN4, and you're like, oh my god, how many ESPNs are there? You never hear how much money the girls and guys in orchestra make versus football contract. Yeah, no, people in orchestras are grossly underpaid. You never hear about people in the Philadelphia Orchestra. They're not making nearly as much. Some of these, professional football players make hundreds of millions of dollars. And I wouldn't be surprised if some orchestras barely make minimum wage. It's like, that's crazy. But I guess it's because, I don't know, you don't really compete. Orchestras don't really, that would be pretty cool. Imagine if orchestras like competed against each other, right? Like the Philadelphia Orchestra, battles against the Boston Orchestra, and it's like in a stadium, and then like the Philadelphia Orchestra, like they play a couple of their best pieces, but then the Boston Orchestra is like, yeah, I'll check this out, and then they're just like ripping into like some Beethoven, and then the Philadelphia Orchestra is like, oh hell no, we need to come back in the second half, and then during halftime, instead of like a concert, it would be like a football game, right? Because it would be switched. I don't know, something dumb. Because the conductors make all the money. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's a whole thing. Conductor. Well, see, now we got to look this up. How much do conductors make in how much do conductors make? That would be an interesting question. Because it does feel like conductors. I mean, I know that there's a lot that goes into it. How much do conductors make? Oh, wait, it looked up train conductors. No. Orchestra conductors. Yeah. How much do orchestra conductors make? Here we go. Dang. Who is the highest paid orchestra conductor? Oh my goodness. The Chicago Symphony. There's a conductor that makes $3 million. What? The Los Angeles Philharmonic. Where are they getting this money? That's insane. But that's like the top 1%. That's probably the top 1% of orchestra conductors. There's no way that's like real. Here's a New York Times articles that looks pretty interesting. American conductor salaries hit a new high, and this was published in 2018. Let's check it out. Every symphony orchestra in America has a financial problem. Oh, I don't want to read the whole article. I just want to get to the good stuff. Where's the chart that shows how much people are making? Oh my God, New York Times has too many words. They need to cut right to the chase and give me just like a list with like, here's a chart, like an Excel spreadsheet that shows all the different conductors. How much do professional orchestra conductors make? I don't have like a good number for you. It says like the average orchestra conductor makes around $53,000 a year. But there were some big ones on that list. The highest paid orchestra conductors. That's insane. All right, now let's look up how much do orchestra players make? Highest paid musicians. Oh my goodness. All right, I take it back. Musicians are making bank. they're doing pretty well. This guy in the New York Philharmonic makes $600,000. $600,000? All right, now let's compare this to like, what does the average football player make? The median wage for all NFL players is around $860,000. Oh my. And it says the top earners on average for orchestras make $52,000 a year. But the highest paid ones in the United States are making $600,000. The next one is $500,000. And they're from all these different orchestras around the United States. It looks like if you're a part of these major orchestras, you're making around $100,000. That's crazy. But you have to be the best of the best. And there's not a lot of those orchestras. And they're also not competing. But, it sounds like they're making good money. I guess if you're just like on a normal, if you're on like a minor league team, a minor league orchestra, you're not getting paid nearly as much. But that's pretty crazy. I didn't know musicians like just to play were making that much. That's pretty insane. Well, Brooke, my sister, she's studying to be like she's in music ed. So I gotta tell her. I'm gonna go tell her now. Like, hey, you gotta make us proud. You gotta bring home the big money. Oh, that's my timer. All right. Well, that was fun. All right, guys. Well, I think that's where I'm gonna end it. This was a nice little chat. I enjoyed this. What did we talk about? We talked about football pools. We talked about orchestra versus football. And we talked about choir. This was cool. Not related to the current topic, but I'm in a hotel in Niagara Falls, and there's a large dog barking in the room across from me. So now I'm awake and listening to you. Well, that's cool that you're at the Niagara Falls. I guess it does suck that there's a large dog barking in the room across from you. But I'm glad you could be part of our conversation tonight. That was quick and interesting. Yeah, I thought that was not bad. Yeah, so I just want to do this probably like once a week, just kind of like chit chat about stuff. I want to get I need to get like a keyboard or something, so I can like Google stuff and you guys can like see me Googling stuff, on my computer, and then we can learn together, and we can make sure we're reading off of trusted sources and everything. Didn't Brooke quit for a while and then fall into it again and started playing? I think so. I'm not exactly sure how the timeline went, but yeah. Good show. It'll be interesting to see where the conversations go. Next time, cute dogs and funny things they do. That might be a good topic. All right, guys. Well, have a good night. We'll see kind of where this ends up happening, where this show goes. Maybe we'll have some special guests on, like my mom or my grandma or Jacqueline. But yeah, this was a fun little first episode, and yeah, have a good night, guys, and I'll talk to you later. See ya. Have a good night. Also, hope that large dog stops barking.